Hello, everyone, and welcome to Beyond the Ball with me, Collie. This week I am joined by Paddy.
Yup.
And I am joined by Water.
How's it going, everybody?
Lads. Two depressed Man United fans, and it's great to see. We're going to be covering all the Manchester United issues they have going on at the moment this week. We're going to be chatting a little bit about COVID going through football and just fucking COVID in general. We've tried our best not to really talk about it, but at this stage, it's kind of fucking destroying our Christmases, some would say. So we're going to be talking a little bit about that. We have the weekend fixtures, so we were going to be looking at kind of midweek, but they're pretty much over now. So we're going to look at Saturday, Sunday, and then I think there's one on Monday night as well. So we're going to look at them, and then I think there's one question sent in from one of the followers on Instagram. So lads, we are going to jump straight in. What are you about to cry, Paddy?
You're talking about Saturday and Sunday's fixtures. I've been preparing. Are we not doing Wednesday and Thursday's fixtures?
No, they're gone. No, threw them out. I threw them out. We can get score predictions, but I want to talk about the rest of them because I want a full fixture list. But anyway, right, lads, Paddy, to even depress you more, we're gonna jump into Manchester United. I'm gonna put that scrolling down the bottom.
If we're doing COVID and Man United, I'm drinking. So Sandy, oh yeah, Sandy got me a nitro surge. What a piece of kit! I swear to God, it's unbelievable. Please, I don't want to pour it all over my computer now.
No, I want to see it.
Is it light flashing there? Oh, it's beautiful.
So how does it work?
So you hear it works like vibrations going through the top. You stick it on top of your can. And then, like a pint of Guinness, you'd pour in the pub. You just do it. Now I've had my my glass in the freezer as well, just to make it extra sumptuous and beautiful. So at Guinness Diageo, you've done some hell of a job, because if I'm stuck in my house and I'm throwing out a pub at 8 o'clock, I want to be able to have a decent pint of Guinness, and this does the job. What a machine! So you let that.
So what you do? So you did the same thing as the
60
pub,
seconds, and then you just top it up at the very end. But yeah, would recommend it to anybody.
We'll see.
And I actually I ran out of nitro storage cans over the Christmas, and I used it on a couple of the normal cans with the widget in it. Still fairly decent, and still makes a big difference.
Really, yeah. Would it be as creamy, or would it be as creamy as kind of the nitro cans though?
Not quite, but for look, yeah, not quite. I don't want to say too much just in case we get sponsored by Guinness, but yeah, no, nitro storage is so much better.
Yes, buy Guinness. Guinness is great for your health.
No, to be quite honest, for the difference in the price of the cans, like you can get a nitro storage can worth of £3 each. You get the normal cans for €1 each. For the extra €2, is it that much creamier? I don't think so.
No.
Yeah.
Calling Guinness out there now. That's their fucking sponsorship deal gone. Right.
They're very hard to get though as well, aren't they?
Yeah.
I can't get them anywhere.
Come on down. If you can rent mine now.
So are you going at a weird angle? Why are you going at a weird angle there now, Paddy?
What do you mean a weird angle?
Maybe that's just because.
Because you have to have the pressure going down onto it.
Right.
You know, you have to make sure there's constant pressure going through the actual storage itself.
In behind it, like. Yeah. Sucking it off.
Right, let's do this.
Lads, we are talking about Manchester United. Paddy, I suppose we'll go to you first, seeing as it's drove you to drink at this stage. Look, at a disappointing draw, to say the least. But more disappointing was probably the performance. Didn't look like he's had any backbone. Looked like he's were just fucking pussyfooting around, crying about passes like Ronaldo. Bruno Fernandes looked depressing, was crying. Said it before, say it again. It's one of the biggest moan bags in the league. Paddy, what is going on at Manchester United? And is it at this stage, do you kind of give Ollie back a little bit of grace? Or do you kind of just say, no, still was Ollie, but the players are now massively to blame on it?
I can't say Ollie shouldn't have been gone, because he should be gone. I do still think United need a couple of central midfielders, or one at least, to break up that McTominay Fred. I thought Van de Beek should have got a game yesterday. I don't know why he's not getting the game. That 4-2-2-2 formation is not working. Gary Neville hit the nail on the head because he had too many attacking players on. The only kind of hold midfield players are the ones that we had with Solskjaer, and they never worked. And for comparisons wise, if you look at if people want to say, right, you get the new manager bounce, and why aren't United getting this? I'm looking at Tottenham and what Conte has done for Tottenham so far. From going from the team that ran the least in the league over the last 4 games since Conte took over, they are now the team that run the most in the league. He's changed how they attacked. Harry Kane top scorer, and also he's made big changes. Manchester United, I think, all this season, whether it be, look, we can all say, look, they're on hundreds of thousands of euro a week, but those beatings they've been getting over the last month or two, how badly did it affect their confidence? All the pundits coming out, because there's no club covered like Manchester United. No other club is covered like Manchester United in terms of Sky Sports, newspapers, social media. Everywhere those players look, they were getting slated. And you could see it. Still Maguire last night, shocking. Varane, you know, he's only back, but still, you know, it wasn't great. Those players, I think, need some help with getting their confidence back. And I suppose only results will do that. But we've had Newcastle and Norwich in the last 2 games, 2 of the bottom teams. And if it had been any other 2 teams, but any more quality, I'd say we probably would have lost 2 of the games because we were absolutely shocking. Ragnick signed a couple of players in January to fit his system, because that's what I think he needs. I don't think he has the players there, because this gegenpress we talk about, I didn't see it. I didn't see it last night. I didn't see it against Norwich. So I really don't know what his style of play is at the moment. That 4-2-2-2, that's all well and good, but the 2 wing backs were left completely exposed, being the wide players. So what do United need at the moment? I've no clue, and I'd say they're scratching their heads as well, because there's no way Ragnick is sitting there watching that match last night thinking, yeah, this is how I want United to play. Not one supporter is going to say, like, there was no positives, not one positive. Well, the only positive I have to say is Cavani in the second half. He looked like a United player. He came on, and he was even, like, you could see him giving out to a couple of the players. And this whole the whinge bag Neville comments, he's dead right. And when Ronaldo ran down the tunnel earlier on in the season, I was saying, no, you know what, he's pissed off, and I couldn't understand why people were saying he's letting the manager down, blah blah blah. But when he explained it last night, considering himself and Fernandes are going to be role models for the younger players, and they lead by example. So if their heads drop, all the younger players' heads drop as well. So they need to be the one setting the example and telling them, you know what, we're not playing great. Come on, let's get out there and win the game. Rather than going, exactly. It's not my fault, it's somebody else's fault. And then everybody's head goes down. Because you can see it with Rashford now. And Rashford used to be one of the most enthusiastic players United had. And it's just...
But we kind of had this discussion earlier on in the season, and it was about kind of that incident. It was that incident that we showed I think we showed a video, or we put it up on Instagram or something like that. And it was all about kind of Ronaldo throwing that strop. And then you kind of came back with the argument saying, oh, well, look, fucking... yeah, I want to see him upset, which is fair enough. You do want to see him upset, and should show, like, it is in a way showing a bit of passion, but it's probably shown in the wrong way, where he needs to, like, suck it up and fucking start trying to encourage the rest of the players around him to do better, rather than just fucking give me the perfect pass and just put it on a play for me. I don't think that show from Ronaldo at the start of the season was a good sign. And
take your ABU hat off for a minute, Collie. When you look at United, the quality players that they have, like, what do you think the problem is? Because for me, as a supporter, I just can't see it now. Like, we got the new manager and we got rid of Ole. We've got rid of numerous managers, to be honest with you. But I think this manager now has the best squad at his disposal, because the signings haven't been that bad over the last couple of seasons. But even the players that should be good are just absolutely shocking. What is it?
So do you want my honest opinion on this and what I think is the issue? Now, you're not going to like what I'm about to say here.
Never do.
Ollie
Rarely do.
Ollie was a massive issue. Like, you can only get them to a certain level. Got them to that level, and then you just took too long to sack him, right? Issue number one. Issue number two is I don't think Rangnick was the best person to bring in. And I really think he's missed the boat with Conte. I think your attitude, the attitude of the players, is shocking. I think Martial, he's a fucking cancer in the team. Get rid of him. He said he wants to go to Sevilla. Good riddance. Fucking see you later.
Loan offer in today.
Yeah. Rashford, massive issue. I've always kind of been looking at United fans, and they're all, oh no, he's gonna come good. He has great potential. He has the talent, yeah, but he doesn't have it in, week out. So for me, I put him in the same ship as Martial. Greenwood, I don't think should have been taken off yesterday. I think it should have been Rashford subbed off. And I think when Rangnick came in, he played Sancho for the first game or two, and Sancho was on fire and he was scoring goals. Now, you can have one bad game in between that, but why drop him and why take him out of the team? I don't know whether that was an injury thing, but it didn't seem like it to me. So I think your problem is still the manager. I don't think he's the right manager for your job. And I still think the attitude of the players, which I don't think would have happened if Antonio Conte came in.
Do you think the bloated squad is an issue?
What do you mean?
Like our squad is so bloated. Like you mentioned there, Rashford, Greenwood, and we've got Jesse Lingard, we have Sancho, we have all the younger players coming up, and we just have so many players for the same positions but we've no real ones that are kind of grabbing it by the neck and saying, this is my position. And is this because would it cause some sort of animosity in the dressing room? Like, I know you should have competition, but there's just so much garbage. And I'm going to say garbage. You can't keep all those players happy.
Yeah, I don't think that's a massive issue because, like you're saying there, competition is expected at that level, and you want to have rotation there, especially with everything that's going on with COVID, which we will be talking about later, and then kind of just in terms of the schedule around Christmas time, like it's shocking. Like I don't know, it was a four games in like 12 days or something for some of the teams. Like that is, I don't care who you are, that is ridiculous amount of games. Like, so I don't think it's an issue with having an overloaded kind of attacking force and then being underwhelmed by defensively, because you're not really underwhelmed defensively. Like, you have the most expensive defender that's ever played the game there in Maguire. Now look, let's call a spade. He's dog shit. And then you have one of the most decorated fucking defenders in the world in Varane. So, I mean, there's bigger issues than just kind of having an overflated attack. You know, you'd always look at their attack as the problem, but like, you leak goals and
so you were United manager.
So easy.
What would be the key position you'd sign a player for? As United,
if I'm being honest, right now, again, I put it up in the chat yesterday, and Paddy, actually, I'd like to get your opinion on it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Fred or McTominay, I'd be having Fred all day long. And I know that's probably an unpopular opinion there, but I just think you could use him so much better than you use him. Like, who would you be picking there, Paddy?
I don't think either of those get into Manchester City or Liverpool's teams.
No,
either of
100%. No.
And that's why, as much as I might agree with you taking Fred over McTominay. Yeah, and to be honest, yeah, but I honestly do not believe either of those are good enough to get us where we want to be. Either of them. No. And even Van de Beek, but you wouldn't put him in their position. You know what I mean? Where they're like, you need them to cover the whole pitch. They're the box-to-box midfielders that protect the defense and support the attack. They lose the ball too much. They can't find each other on the pitch enough. There's no kind of, you know where you get a good pairing, and they just know where each other are all the time. It's just like neither of them know whose role is doing what.
I think they're too similar. They're way too similar. If you look at them when they're playing, you often find them kind of 2 or 3 yards apart, which is the most frustrating thing when you're watching it, because you want someone to be on the other side of the circle in the middle of the park, so you can give them a different angle. But yeah, like Fred or McTominay would be 2 or 3 yards behind the other fella, and you're like, move some space. Even I find their immobility or awareness, like spatial awareness, when Maguire or Varane or whoever the centre half is, if Fred takes a step to the right, like there's a player in front of him, Maguire can't pass through a player. Maguire can barely pass when a player is open, let alone when a player is in front of him. That he needs, if he just steps to the right, makes them triangle the angles. Like they're lacking so much in that way, and
Like
that's where we're getting let down.
I think there is a massive kind of gap in between from where you have your defensive midfielders and then your next line of attack. Like I think that gap is way too big. Like that needs to be narrowed down. Like you literally have the two boys sitting in number 6 role, and then you have a left winger, attacking wingers on both sides, left and right. But then you have like a number 10. So it's almost like you have like 2 up front with like it's nearly 3 up front in the middle, and then 2 out wide, and then you have like 2 sitting so deep that when that ball breaks down, there's so much space from like at the point that where it gets to Fred or McTominay, and then where say fucking Bruno is if he's playing the 10 role. I think there's a massive gap in there that just allows teams to carry the ball 10, 15 yards. It sucks out your defensive midfielder and it just leaves the other one stranded. And I just think that's a massive, massive issue for us. But I don't know if that's kind of the main issue isn't your attack. It's that structure and it's that defense. Look, if you're going to do that, push everybody up, push the fucking defensive midfielders up, and push your fucking centre halves and your left and your right back up as well, and literally sit them every single player in the opposition half. Like the only person that should be in your half is a goalkeeper, and that's the way you have to do that tactically. And I don't think Rangnick has done it yet. And I don't know whether it's because the players that he has at the moment he's not happy with, and he doesn't trust them to do what he wants, or if it's just this, like, is he faking it? Like
I think he's waiting. I think he's waiting, Collie. Like Paddy made a good point about confidence, and when we tried to press Liverpool when Ollie we got demolished. And I think, like, you will know yourself from playing football, like a team have to believe in a manager and have to believe that they can execute a plan. So I don't know whether, but the fact that against Norwich and against Newcastle that they haven't pressed with intensity like they did in the very first game, I'm wondering if he is waiting until he feels confident in the team that they can do it 110%. That if it doesn't go well on the night, that they will fall to pieces, the confidence will be gone, and they have to rebuild again.
Is that acceptable as a Manchester United manager? No, is that acceptable? No. Like, I don't think so.
And this still goes back to.
But what was acceptable? We weren't getting acceptable anyway. You know what way?
But that's why you sacked the manager, and that's why he
came in, though.
Yeah,
he's never.
But I think but I think you're talking about 3 games here, and I know you're looking for an instant response. But the shambles that the squad was in, like, is it a matter of fact?
Conte at Tottenham, Dean Smith at Norwich, Steven Gerrard at Aston Villa. He's literally like even I suppose Eddie Howe at Newcastle. Like he's come in now. I know they lost their game or 2 at the start because Eddie Howe had COVID, so he wasn't on the sideline. But like, there's been a bounce at every single one of them clubs. The only one that there hasn't been a bounce at is Manchester United, and I don't think the players are necessarily happy with the appointment. Like I would imagine that Cristiano Ronaldo was fucking praying Zinedine Zidane would come in there, or even a Conte. I don't know whether he might have clashed a little bit with some of them, but that's what you need. You need the clashes now. Even Roy Keane says it. Like, you want to upset people, like, you know what I mean? Get a reaction from them. Because there's too much of this kind of, put your arm around the shoulder and like try to keep Rashford happy. He feeds the fucking kids. That's great, but he's not scoring fucking goals. I'd rather him feed less kids and score more goals. Do you know what I mean?
Well, they've got now the sports psychologist in as well. You know, that's what his new thing is. And like he says, every team in Germany has it, you know, but I think he says these United players need some sort of help because, like, obviously the normal training methods are not just going to work, because what I see now on the pitch, the last 3 games, is there's been no improvements, and people keep on saying, you know, even Harry Maguire came out and said, some of the squad had COVID and they're recovering from that, and we only had, with the training ground was closed for 4 days. It's just excuses. And if we didn't hear the same type of excuses before Ragnar came in and Ollie was there. You know what I mean? It's not good enough. We have this is wrong with the squad. That's wrong. It's just all excuses.
Yeah.
You're being paid so much fucking money. You played well for a lot of the last season. You know, we finished very high up in the league. So what's your excuse? It's not. It's down to you. It's down to the players not trying hard enough.
What does Rangnick have to do to make an impact? So he's obviously not happy with the attitude. Say like, well, look, he's gonna have to do something to address that issue with Ronaldo and Bruno, where they're just moaning and pissing and moaning. What does he do? Does he drop Ronaldo? Does he risk upsetting Ronaldo?
Drops them both.
But do you think that is going to have a positive effect on the rest of the team?
If you get a result, yeah.
But do you reckon he'd have the balls to do that?
So do we not have the players that could replace them at the moment? Because at the moment, like Ronaldo has been scoring goals, so yeah, I'd stick Cavani instead of him.
Yeah.
And for Fernandes hasn't been playing well for all season. No. So why not give Van de Beek a run in the team? Take Fernandes out completely. He's too big for his boots now. He came in last season and it was nearly, you could see the pride of him playing for United, but now like he had a great season. Is he getting too big for the club now?
I think he may be living in Ronaldo's shadow there, where like he kind of, you could even see it. Like it's almost like he just respects him too much, and I think he knows his place. He's like, right, I'm no longer the main man, and like fair play to him, like, because if Ronaldo comes into the team, you have to just you just accept it. You're not the best at the team anymore. So I think he's done that, but I think he's done it in such a negative way where he's actually affecting how he's playing now.
Happened in Portugal as well.
Yeah, exactly, with the Portugal team. Yeah. So I honestly think though, and Lawler, we went we went on a thing, and I think Lawler was the one that said it earlier, that I genuinely don't think that Ronaldo was wanted at that team, like with Boyoli. I think he might have mixed up or disrupted the plans he had going forward, but you can't not play him once you sign him, like. Yeah. So, and I think it's just it's a knock-on effect for the next manager coming in. So what do you do? Like Ronaldo does. Go on.
Sorry, you couldn't not play Ronaldo in his prime, but now can you not play Ronaldo?
I don't think
he's bailed us out enough times this season.
Yeah,
like look at that. We'd be in a lot worse place without Ronaldo. Think about it like that.
I just think that I don't know. I just think that if you can, he's not going to want to be on the bench, and he's not going to want to come on for 30 minutes at the end of a game and score a goal. I don't think he'd be happy doing that. The problem is, if you do that with him, does he then become a Martial? Where now, look, obviously a much fucking higher standard, but that same type of fucking moany bastard, cancer in the team, and it's just detrimental to everybody else. Like I just don't know. It's a hard one with
Martial.
No, not just Martial. No, it's like, look, I'm Rashford, and there's a fucking whole lot of them. Like, but as I don't know what they're gonna do.
When I say bloated earlier on, I kind of mean if you have a big squad, that's fine, but you've got a squad in terms of all over the pitch. You've enough cover, but every player believes that, yeah, you know, my time will come. You know, there's 2 or 3 players for this position, but my time will come. But we're so overinflated up the top end of the pitch, and even in some ways midfield, not in defense really. But some of these players must be thinking, like, you know, there's 3 or 4 players ahead of me. I'm never going to get a game, and that type of thing leaks into the squad. You know, I don't.
There's definitely opportunities, I think, and I don't think there's probably enough being given to the other players, the likes of Lingard and stuff like that, where they should be coming in and starting. Like, they shouldn't just be coming in for 45 minutes. They should be starting, because if they're doing it in training and they're working hard in training, why not play these players? Like Lingard proved himself last season at West Ham, so that's enough to go off. Like, lads, shall we move on and end this depressing topic? We'll move into another depressing topic, which is basically, for fuck's sake, why do I always do that? Lads, look, I don't know. We'll talk a little bit about it. I don't want to drag it out and be too fucking depressing on this. Lads, what's your fucking thoughts on COVID in football here at the moment? You work in a fucking healthcare fucking environment. What you saying? Tell me what's happening here. Like,
it's going around the merry-go-round, isn't it? It feels like it's all just happening again for the very first time. look, it's frustrating. I will probably err on a different side to what normal people will do because I'm in the hospital and I see it a little bit more face to face. Look, it's frustrating, football is, but I think there's a lot more at hand than just the delay in football. Yes, there's a concept that we have to live with it. We have to do different things, but when it gets to such a level that 50% of people who get tests now in Ireland are now testing positive, your ability to protect those most vulnerable are probably limited, to say the least.
Are you in favour of kind of forcing footballers to get vaccinated? Do you think that should be mandatory, or do you think that should be? Yeah.
No. Look, everyone has their choice. Everyone is allowed to make their choice. Once they're given the right information to make their choice, that's absolutely fine. No one should be forced to go down one lane. But once they have the information at hand, if they want to read the information, that's fine. But whatever the person's choice is their person's choice. Just don't force it on another person. That's all.
Yeah. Paddy, what do you think?
I'm staying very politically correct.
Yeah. He's trying not to get sacked, basically. Yeah. Paddy, what do you think? What's your thoughts on that at the moment? Like, and the whole fucking thing, like.
The players getting vaccinated, their choice, absolutely their choice. A couple of years ago, when a player had a flu, they could play if they wanted to. You know what I mean? There's no problem. This Omicron variant now has similar symptoms as the common cold. But we need to learn to live with COVID. But in terms of just football wise, and I suppose the Premier League wise, let's not just talk about football. Let's talk about these big clubs in the Premier League who are bitching and moaning about the winter break like they have been for years, even before COVID. So this is just another reason for them to give out. Drop the Carabao Cup. I do think that, drop that out completely, because there's a couple of points made by a couple of managers saying, all the other elite leagues around Europe, Germany, Spain, don't have the second cup competition. You have your main cup in your league. In terms of the 5 substitutes, that should be allowed to ease the burden. Why it isn't, I don't know why. Some clubs are voting against it, and I really do not. I suppose that maybe it's because the bigger clubs will have a better advantage because they have bigger squads.
Squad depth, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
you can I suppose you could understand that. But I suppose they are in more competitions, the bigger clubs as well. Yeah. So the smaller clubs need to kind of understand that. I think it's a farce. I really do. I think it's a farce. It's gone on too long. Again, when you're looking inside these clubs, I'm sure some of them are saying, 8 players are COVID. They're probably asymptomatic. They get tests irrespective of whether they're symptomatic or asymptomatic. So when these players become, and they're probably just putting their hands up in the air going, what do we do here? We have to shut down the club, shut down the training ground. And there's fuck all wrong. Anyway, how many of the footballers have been hospitalized because of COVID? 0. Yeah. None of them. Yeah. Absolutely none of them. And this whole thing has just gone way too far now. It really has. I agree with protecting our vulnerable, but we do all need to just learn to live with it. We're all adults here, and the vulnerable can look after it themselves. And the people that live with them can make sure that they're careful, and then everyone else can just make the choice whether to go out and put themselves at risk to get this COVID disease that, all in all, are we building up a herd immunity to it now? Is it as serious as it was? Like, we're all vaccinated now. 98% of the population is vaccinated, and getting this third dose where they're bringing in we have to get vaccinated the booster every 3 months, or is it 6 months, or do we do the kids, the 5-year-olds or the 12-year-olds? Actually, we'll just do everyone. They've no idea what they're doing. And I'm talking about this country now. They've no idea what they're doing. How can they expect us to follow their lead when they're sending out so many mixed messages? And it's absolutely disgraceful. And I really hope we see a better winter next year after the summer, because we know in the summer the numbers are going to go down again, because like every winter season, flus and stuff go through the roof. But hopefully next winter now we get back to a little bit of normality, and we can just live our lives.
I would genuinely like to see the numbers in terms of like flu kind of symptoms and like hospitalizations compared to to COVID, because I don't think I've ever seen like what the numbers were before COVID in a busy winter, compared to what they are now. I just look, they may be fucking way up. I don't know, but I would just like to see it, just to see like what is the difference, what is the real problem. Like, I think if you look at the median age of people that die from it, something like 80 years of age or something like that. So,
and why are they still showing us the numbers every single day?
I know.
Why are they massaging the numbers in terms of people dying from COVID when people are dying from cardiac arrest, but if they have COVID in their system, it's going down as a COVID death? Why is this happening?
Yeah,
obviously we're not a news podcast, so we won't go too in depth into it. But there's so many unanswered questions that just leaves everybody confused.
That's what it is, and I'm like, look, I'm not a fucking anti-vaxxer or anything like that, but like some of the stuff you see online, it just makes you think, like, what is going on? It's not even. It's just bullshit that like you keep seeing every day, and you're just like, well, what the fuck am I seeing this for? Like, and then at the same time, I do see the anti-vaxxer, and they're like, it's all a control. And I think to myself, right, you don't have brain cells, so you need
the pandemic group, is it?
Some of the stuff I see now, I just think it's like that needs to fucking chill out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this whole control thing over us, I don't think is happening. Like, but just in terms of it being with football, lads, like, they're talking now about reducing capacity at stadiums and stopping fans going again. Lads, I don't know about yous, but if that's the case, I'd rather than just cancel it altogether. Football without the fans we seen last season, it's not the fucking same.
Jordan, this week,
not same.
I watched an amazing documentary on Amazon Prime, and it was about Bill Shankly, Matt Busby, and Jock Stein. Three managers that grew up from and their three ethos was football without fans is nothing. Doesn't matter. Like, you can have the two best teams in the world have the best game of football. If there's no fans there, there's no atmosphere, it means nothing. You can have two average teams having an average game of football, but if there's a great atmosphere, it turns it into an amazing game. There's no fans, there's no game. And as you said, reduce capacity, all this shit, that just call it off until we can do it right.
It's bollocks. They're talking about having, I don't know if it's Scotland, playing in front of 500 people now, like in stadiums with capacities of 20,000-30,000. Like, I just don't get it. Lads, we're going to move off such a depressing fucking topic here. We're going to move on to the...
I seen as just because I prepared for the midweek games, I'm just going to go and get a drink because this is going to be horrific for me as well. So I'll be back in a second.
Right, first game we do have is actually a fucking tasty game. We have Arsenal and Manchester City. Now look, looking at kind of the last couple of results, Arsenal and Man City had a pretty decent fucking result. They haven't played this week. I believe Arsenal's game is off and Man City are playing tomorrow against Brentford. But the last game City played was against Leicester, 6-3. Fucking unbelievable game. They went 4-0 up and then just took the foot off the gas, and then that was it. And then Arsenal won 5-0 away at Norwich. How do you see this one going? Look, if you look at the league table, obviously City 6 points clear at the top. Now Liverpool are playing now at the moment. So we'll see what happens there. But Arsenal's sitting in fourth position, like doing decent enough. Like, they really are challenging for the top four. I know Spurs are going to have a couple of games in hand. If they win, they'll jump ahead of them. But what are your thoughts on this one? How do you see this match going?
I've been impressed with Arsenal now. For the month of December, like, they've averaged, I think, 3 goals a game. Like, they won 3-0 against Southampton, 2-0 against West Ham, 4-1 against Leeds, 5-1 against Sunderland, but then 5-0 against Norwich. Like, they're playing well. So they come up against City, though, is a different kettle of fish. City are just too good. Like, Arsenal can be banging in 6 or 7 goals all they want, but when they come up against City, they're not going to get the ball. And that's the thing. Like, City they're a different level of gravy, aren't they?
Ridiculous at the moment, isn't it?
Like, without a forward, like, I'm always struggling to believe they play so well without a forward. And you're looking at them, and their play is predictable to a certain
Yeah.
extent, is that they get it
is, yeah.
wide and they cut it into the edge of the 6-yard box or the penalty spot or the edge of the box all the time. But you can't
Yeah.
stop it. You just
Yeah.
cannot stop it.
The movement is
Uh,
unbelievable from the players. Like,
oh yeah, like the kind of the attacking players that they just move. Like Bernardo Silva is amazingly gifted for
he's
movement.
outrageous.
Like,
Yeah.
and even like close space management. Like he just glides past players. He reminds me of Mata in his prime.
Yeah.
Like, just glides past
Very
them.
similar to David Silva, actually. Like he's been a very good replacement for him.
He has. Like you haven't missed David Silva, and that's when
No.
you know you've had a good replacement. It's just a transition.
Yeah.
The only thing that annoys me about City is their rotation when it comes to the fantasy Premier League, because I have the majority of City players in there.
Classic. It's known as the old Pep Roulette, they call it in the fantasy football world, which is
So
at times.
Arsenal are playing well, but City are a different gravy. So I'm gonna go 3-1 City with Foden the score, because he always plays the big games.
Fair enough. Paddy, how'd you see this one going? Just saying there, City and Arsenal obviously coming off 2 decent wins. City have a game tomorrow, and Arsenal obviously have the break. So, what way do you see this one going?
Yeah, Arsenal's run of form, which has gone beyond now just a run of form. I think this is what they'll be like for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
And I called it at the start of the season. I thought because Arsenal hadn't got European football this year, they'd be doing well. And I think the fact that they're Aubameyang has gone out of squad as well has really made them more of a team. And this again will probably look at the likes of Fernandes and Ronaldo. Can you not drop these players if they're having a negative impact on the squad and on the younger players that the manager truly believes in? Well, then they need to be gotten out. This game here.
Hold on a sec. You just completely turned that into go back to talking about United. How have you managed that? Like,
It's context. It's context.
every day, every week, like it's just like something completely nothing to do with United, and we managed to talk about United.
I was about to move on there. You're not to make no more about United. So if you want to talk about United, we can.
No.
Man City are a machine. If it had been anyone else against Arsenal, I would have probably went for Arsenal this weekend. But with it being City, I think they'll narrowly get the win. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win City, and De Bruyne to score first.
Yeah, no, I don't think it'll be a whitewash. I do think City will win. Their squad is just too good at the moment. Like defenders, like there's no weak spots in the team, I don't think. So I think they're too good at the moment, and I'm with Paddy on that one. I'm gonna say a 2-1 win for City, and I'm gonna go with De Bruyne to score, because he's actually been fucking quality since he's come back. Right, we're moving on to the next one, lads, which is Leicester and Norwich at 3:00 on Saturday. Water, we won't spend long on this one. Look, obviously we know what's after happening there the last game with Leicester. Well, actually we don't, because they're actually currently drawing 0-0 with Liverpool, aren't they? Anyway, what do you reckon on this one? Norwich have been pretty fucking shit lately. Well, they haven't really lost 3-0 against Palace.
As soon as you see Norwich in the team sheet, I think it's a pretty safe bet to put the opposite team in. But then again, it is Leicester. I've been really disappointed with Leicester this season. I think Rodgers is starting to have his decline now. Like that squad is very good. I think Tielemans will probably go in the summer.
Yeah.
They're leaking goals. Like they very much are leaking goals. Like against City, they were poor in that first half. I know we were talking earlier when we were out, but James Maddison was having a good run of form.
Yeah.
So I think his form alone will probably be enough to beat Norwich. But I'm probably going to go 2-1 Norwich or 2-1 Leicester.
All right,
And,
wow.
I'm going to go,
Wow.
literally slating Norwich for a minute and then just go, oh yeah, Norwich will win.
No,
I'm going to go Maddison to score the winner. So 2-1 Leicester.
Okay. Paddy, it's been a while since we had an El Water fuck up.
Yeah, we missed it. It should be a average game. I can't see anyone winning here except Leicester, really. Norwich need January to come quick. to get one or two players in, if they have any chance of surviving, which I don't think they do on any of this season, with the way the league table is looking. But going back to Manchester United, and how many messages? Yeah, I'm gonna go for a 2-0 win to Leicester, and I'm gonna go for Vardy to score first.
Listen, I'm gonna go the same, lads. Don't think that Norwich are gonna get too much. I think they've lost the last 5 games in a row. Just going back to old classic fucking form. Like, they have 10 points now. Newcastle have 11 and Burnley have 11. Now Burnley have fucking 4 games at hand over them, and they're about 5-6 points away from getting out. I don't see it happening, and I see Leicester winning this one. I'm gonna go 3-0 to Leicester, and I'm gonna say Iheanacho to score. Right, lads, we're moving on. Watford and Tottenham. Paddy, give me a score prediction on this one. Tottenham fucked me up for a bet today. But I did cash out and got €7 profit. So, what do you reckon? Score prediction?
Spurs again, upturning form, all down to Conte. So you have to respect what he's doing at the club. So yeah, I'm going to go for Spurs win here. Harry Kane back on form. Spurs 2-0. Harry Kane score.
Nice one. More.
I'm going to go 2-1 Watford. I'm going to go Dennis to score.
Ooh. Dennis has been quality. I do have many fancy football. He's been deadly.
He's a menace.
I'm gonna go with a Spurs win. I'm gonna say 2-1 to Spurs. I'm gonna say Dele Alli to score because why not?
Pigs will fly first.
Right, lads. Next one, 5:30 on Saturday. Crystal Palace and West Ham. Look, West Ham absolutely fucking bashed Watford today. 4-1. Looked a bit dodgy. I think they went 1-0 down, if I'm not mistaken. So it was a good kind of comeback to get the 4-1 win. What do you think of this one? How do you think this is going to go? And give us a score prediction.
Oh, I'm a big fan of Palace this year under Vieira, and a bigger fan of Conor Gallagher because I think he was great crack on Tubes' podcast, Golf Life. So big fan of him now, and you like him because he's from Chelsea. West Ham have been really inconsistent. I know their centre half, they're off. I know Lawler was talking about that as well today. But it's going to be a close game. And is this a London derby or Palace in London?
Yeah.
Oh, so you don't really know what derbies. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw, I'd say, with Antonio to score. I can't pick a winner there.
Yeah, Paddy?
Yeah, I think this is going to be a close one. This would be counted as a derby, wouldn't
it? Yeah. Well, I don't think they're massive rivals or anything like that, but yeah, it will be a London derby, like.
Yeah, to be bragging rights there, anyway. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. Zaha won't be playing, so he's the only player I know off Palace.
Still big.
I'll go for Antonio to score first. Yeah.
All right. I think Palace are going to win this one, lads. Oh, sorry, not Palace. West Ham. I think they might just nick it.
Norwich are going to win this one, Collie.
No, I think they have enough there. Like they are fighting for fourth. So at the moment, kind of Palace are just floating around mid-table, and there's not much going on. They're not really in threat of going down. And I start looking at who the game means more to now at this stage. So I think West Ham probably have a little bit more to play with or play for. So I'm going to go with a West Ham win, and I'm going to say a tight West Ham win. I'm going to say a 1-0 win, and I'm going to say Bowen to score because he's been creeping in with a few goals lately. So, right, we're moving on. Brentford and Villa, lads. Score prediction on this one, please. Water first.
Ooh. Still hate Steven Gerrard with a passion, so Brentford 3-0.
And do you have a score idea? Got to put you on the spot.
I know Tony plays for it, but let's go for an own goal of Martinez, goalkeeper. Let's go. Let's put it out there.
Paddy, what do you
think? Gerrard's still not allowed.
No, he won't be there for. Yeah, he won't be there for the next game.
Yeah, if he had been, I would have said the Villa win. But because he's not there, I'm going to go for a 0-0 draw.
Lads, just to say, Leicester are now winning. Come on.
No way.
Yeah, 1-0.
Love it.
Clop out, lads. Clop
Lookman.
out. Hold on a second. Will we get a fucking a poll up here and see what we got by the end of the podcast?
Let me
Klopp out.
vote on it straight away.
Klopp out, yeah.
Sorry, lads, I'm just gonna give me score prediction. So I'm gonna go with
Oh,
1-1 draw.
I can't wait. Like, actually, can we try and get Klopp's post-match interview if they do lose?
The
Because I'm
moaning
sure
and
it's going to
the
be
fucking
full of
crying.
whinge. And talk about United being whinge bags last night.
They're unreal. So hold on a sec, lads. So I'll show everyone for the crack. This is what's going up. Picture of Klopp. Let's get the poll up. Klopp out? Question mark? Let's go. Yes. What shall we write? Yes. He's losing the dressing room. They'll fucking
Call him a whinge bag. Yeah, no, just say yes. He's a whinge bag.
Yes, he's a crybaby because I can't fit the rest.
Crybaby.
No. No. Yes, he's a
I thought you were gonna ask me, and you're like, do you really want to ask me how to spell something?
No, he's a good guy.
His culture is great.
Yeah, he's got the great culture. Right, lads, we're gonna put that up, and let's see at the end of the pod what percentage we've got. Right, sorry, I'm going with 1-1 in this game, and I'm going with a. Let's go with a. Who do I want to go with the score? You voting here, what are you?
Oh yeah. Oh shit, I missed it. Look at that. He's a crybaby. There it is. Decided.
Oh shit, what did I do clicking you there? That means my screen went big.
Right. I like all the attention on me.
So yeah, I got 1-1, and I'm gonna say fucking Danny Ings to score because I can't fucking think of anyone else for some reason. Lads, we're gonna jump off that for a second. We just have one question in, and we've kind of already covered it, but we will just answer it anyway. So we're just gonna move quickly into the question section, lads. Just one question in, and it's from Maggie 1967. Should the league be suspended or shortened? Or should the League of Ireland be delayed starting? So, lads, the League of Ireland, I think, is due to start on the 18th of February.
That's right.
Looking at numbers, COVID-related numbers, is that going to happen? Paddy, you're newly involved in this League of Ireland setup.
Yeah,
I'll be there. Going to happen, or what do you think?
I'll be at the Tallaght Stadium, COVID or no COVID.
Can I ask you, Paddy, are you going to go to many away games?
Probably not. No, to be quite honest with you. No, I've two young kids, so like, well, maybe when the young fella's a bit older, when they're a bit older, I probably would. But right now, I'm gonna say no. But Friday evening is an awkward one as well. Most games are on Friday evening.
Yeah.
You know, after work, it's tough to get to. If they're doubling matches, maybe. But as we've seen at the last cup final, there was a bit of trouble. I don't want to be bringing my kids into that either, you know.
Yeah.
So I'll stick to all the home games this season, cup games and European games. So I think that'll do me. I think that there should be the goods of over 20 games there anyway. So yeah, I'll be sticking to that book. COVID related, do I think it'll go ahead? I think it will, because I think the numbers will start to go down by the time we get to February.
Yeah.
Because the way the numbers are going at the moment, will the restrictions end? When they should, I am hoping so, because I'm 40 in February and I want to have a big dirty 40th.
Oh yeah. Where are we going, Paddy?
Don't look a day under 30, Paddy.
I don't want to say it on the pod because all the hundreds of
listeners. Don't look a day under 30. It's just as big as an insult as anything you could have said to him.
I meant to say you don't look a day over 30.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, I don't look a day
there's
over 30.
There's your fuck up, right? There it is, in a little present for you. There's the water fuck up for today. Christmas. Thank you very much, and good night.
That was a compliment. Well, on anything from 30 to 35, I'm down with. Happy days. Thank you very much.
I'm knocking himself out. Look. It's just a gift that keeps giving. We're gonna just take him out there until he actually fixes that.
So was this? So the question in, was that for just regarding or League of Ireland?
So yeah, I would presume so. So should the league be suspended or shortened? And now you could be talking about the Premier League there.
Yeah, shortened. I don't think so. Delayed. Delayed League of Ireland, yeah. If they say shortened now, sure, how can they do it? You know,
Yeah.
well, I suppose with the League of Ireland, they can play each other twice rather than 3 times. But
Yeah, there was this thing of like only certain teams playing certain away games and it's the luck of the draw type of way. Like I don't know if it would
no,
work.
I think all the clubs can't afford to really shorten the league.
No,
Which
they
is
need
why
that.
you're
They
still
need
looking
it,
for clubs, you know, now not looking to get rid of games or postpone games because you know they need the revenue.
Yeah, exactly. What do you think? Would you be shortening or suspending the league, and then do you think it should be? Do you think the League of Ireland look like you said? It's due to start in what? Go to 6 weeks now at
February.
this stage.
Yeah.
So it's hard to know what's going to happen within them 6 weeks. Are we going to get a massive shutdown or lockdown or whatever's going to happen with COVID? But what do you think? Looking at it now,
I think cases will peak around mid-January. From looking at the 2 weeks on. So 2 weeks on from Christmas will be around mid-January. So that's when the most socialization will happen. So that's going to be around mid-January. Will it be suspended? It's hard to say. I don't think they can justify suspending it now because of the vaccinations. I can understand that when people weren't vaccinated, they will probably cut off the guests. So that's what I can imagine they do. But then again, the FAI's main revenue is probably attendances at them games. So I think it will come down to whether if the FAI can make enough money off it without attendances, they will not have people at it. But I don't think they'll suspend or shorten it. I think your main query will be around whether people can actually attend games or not.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Yeah, look, it's the same thing. Should it be pushed off? Right, let's just go with how we're feeling. Absolutely fucking not. Do not delay it. The league suffers enough as it is financially. I don't think it can afford this type of delay. Like I don't know what type of agreement the players have with their teams and stuff like that. There is still a handful of full-time teams. I don't know how well equipped they are to be able to play these people and then keep kind of going without anything coming in from the gates. So I don't think you can prolong that time without money. Do you know what I mean? And you fall into like say having 5 or 6 pro teams to now going down to having 4 or 3, which is not the way the league wants to go. And I just think it'd be fucking awful for the league to push it off completely and to stop people coming in. If you're vaccinated and you're fully vaccinated, you should be allowed to go. You should be allowed to go if you're not vaccinated. I don't care who you are. But like a minimum should be if you have a full vaccination, show your cert in the door, no bother. You're good to go. Right, lads, we're going to jump off that. That's enough COVID talk for today. We're going to just jump quickly back on to the predictions or the game, sorry. Lads, 2 o'clock on Sunday, Everton versus Brighton. Paddy, give us a score prediction on these. Lads, we're nearly an hour in, so we won't be spending too much longer on the rest of them. Chelsea and Liverpool are coming up, and then United and Wolves. I suppose Paddy will want to talk more about United anyway.
I'll talk about United during every other one as well. Can
you just take Rashford off your calendar? He's just pissing me off when I have to look at him all the time. Piss me off when I see him on the pitch.
January, I'm afraid. Every show in January, you're going to see him, I'm afraid.
Paddy, what do you reckon?
I'm going to go 1-0 Everton and Calvert-Lewin to score first.
Okay.
Well, score the only.
What do you reckon?
I'm going to go 2-1 Brighton with Trossard to score.
Ooh, interesting. Lads, I'm going to go with a... Yeah, I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw. I was going to say Brighton to win. I don't think Everton are going to win. I think fucking Benitez needs to get sacked. That's what I want to see. But I think Brighton are going to win. And I'm going to say... Did I say the score? I said 1-1, didn't I?
1-1, yeah.
Sorry. I'm going to say 1-1 and Brighton to score first and Maupay to score. Lads, moving on to an actual... This is probably a big game because considering where the two teams are, Leeds and Burnley. Paddy, what do you reckon on this one? Look, 2 of them are fighting relegation. It's a 6-pointer. Score prediction?
If Leeds had been away, I would have said probably the Burnley win, but I'm going to go with a 0-0 draw actually here because I think Burnley would set up to get some sort of result, and Leeds unfortunately haven't been playing great.
Yeah. What do you reckon?
Yeah, Leeds are in full second season syndrome, aren't they? I think I said that at the start of the year. That was my fear for them.
Yeah.
Rafinha's been playing well though. I think he'll get a big move to a big club.
There's talk
Leeds
of
are
him going to Rafinha to going to fucking Bayern Munich for 50 million.
Yeah, wouldn't be a bad sign. I'm gonna go 1-0 Leeds here. I'm either gonna go with Bamford to score or Rafinha, depending on whether either one of them are out injured or not.
Yeah, but I think Bamford is kind of he came back into the team, then he picked up another little niggle, so I don't know whether he's going to be injured and fit.
They've missed him quite a bit, haven't they?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Lads, I'm gonna go with a Paddy. Do you know what? Like, I actually agree with you on the 0-0, but I think Leeds just for the fans, because the fans have to admit, like, out of all the teams in the league, Leeds fans are fucking brilliant here. So I'm gonna say a 1-0 win for Leeds, and I'm gonna go with.
You absolutely know no Leeds supporters, because otherwise you'd never.
I know loads of Leeds supporters.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I actually do. Yeah, I do. I know loads of them, and
Yeah,
they actually. Am I allowed to name names? I don't know if I am. Do people want to be known as a? The girlfriend's father is a Leeds fan for one. So
well, you have to say he's nice.
That's how close to home hits. No, but I do know probably the guts of 6 or 7 Leeds fans. And they go over to the games. They actually are season ticket holders and go over to every single home game, which fair fucks to them. I'm gonna say 1-0 win. I'm gonna say Dallas to score. Don't think he's out injured. So yeah. Lads, next one, Southampton and Newcastle. Score prediction on this, Paddy.
Southampton, good result today against Spurs. Newcastle, good performance against United. Yeah, let's. No, I'm not going to talk about United again. But during the United game, their 2 top strikers both went off injured. So I won't go for a Newcastle result. I'm going to go for Southampton to win 1-0, and I cannot think of a second player.
What
Yes, him.
Water, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I don't think it'll be a safe bet to go for Newcastle because their game against Everton on Thursday has been postponed now because they can't field the team. So I think it's between injuries and COVID that they can't field the team. So I don't know whether this game will go ahead on Sunday.
Fair enough.
And then,
so if it does, what are we saying?
I'm gonna go 1-0 Southampton. I think Bednarak still play for Southampton centre half.
Jesus, I don't know. I think he does.
Yeah, well, if he comes up against Kieran fucking Clark, he's going to score a header on a corner anyway. So,
I actually agree with you, Water. I think it's going to be a 1-0 win. And I'm going to say Adams to score for Southampton. I think he'll chip in the goal. Lads, next one, Chelsea and Liverpool. Look, lads, I'd love to talk about this one all night, but we won't. Chelsea, obviously, a decent win against Villa, 3-1. Lukaku was back in the team, and he looked fucking... I have to admit, he looked quality. Came back in, won a penalty, scored a goal. Now, when he won the penalty, he looked like he absolutely fucking bullied the defenders. I think it was Mings. He made a show of for the goal. Mings didn't even get up off the ground against him. So I'm going to go, lads, I'm going to go with a Chelsea win on this one. I'm going to stick with Chelsea, and I'm going to say 2-1 for Chelsea. I'd love, like, to be honest, I think fucking Liverpool have just as much chance beating us, probably if not more of a chance. But I just see Chelsea getting fucking something out of them for some reason. I don't know why. Paddy, what do you think?
I'm looking at Liverpool now. Is it still? We're still looking at 1-0 to Leeds or Leicester?
Still 1-0, yeah.
Still 1-0, yeah.
If they get a result tonight, I think there'll be more whinging going on, and it could turn into what happened last season, and they might just fall apart. But do I think Chelsea will get the win? Probably not. Do I think they could get a draw? Very likely. Although now, as I think about it, the last game Chelsea and Liverpool played, Chelsea had a player sent off. Am I right?
No.
At Anfield?
Oh, the last game with Chelsea and Liverpool?
Yeah.
Oh, Chelsea had who got sent off? Yeah, someone got sent off in like 15 minutes.
Was it Thiago Silva? Was it?
Oh, was it
But you
Silva?
held
Was
on
it?
for the draw, wasn't it?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
got the draw. Yeah, 1-1 draw.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna actually go for a Chelsea win here because I think he's have a point to prove after the Anfield game. So I'm gonna go for a 2-0 win for Chelsea and Lukaku to score.
Okay, nice one. What?
I'm going to go with a draw here. I think Chelsea have a better chance of beating Liverpool, but I also think Liverpool have Salah. So that kind of throws it all up in the air because he just needs one moment to kind of pull it out. So I'm going to go 1-1. And I'm going to go with Salah to score a leveler in the last 10 minutes.
It's not what we want to see, War. It's not what we want to see. Lads, we're going to move on to the next one. Paddy's going to cream himself again here because we get to talk about United again. We're over an hour, lads, so we won't spend long. Paddy, just score prediction, please. Water, we'll come to you first. We'll leave Paddy foaming at the mouth there. How do you see this one coming?
Oh, who knows with United? Who the fuck knows? I'd say United will probably pull it out of the bag by the skin of their teeth with David De Gea, probably making about 10 billion saves. So let's go with 2-1 United and Ronaldo to save the day and do a whinging celebration in the corner flag.
Paddy, what do you think?
I really don't like that negativity, Water. I have to say, I'm really, really not impressed with the amount of negativity there.
No one's ever impressed with me, Paddy. You need to learn this.
Yeah, 2 home games for United now. Let's hope the form picks up. I'm going to go for a United win against a Wolves team who haven't, their performances don't match their league position from what I've seen. But United 2-0 and Fernandes to score.
Oh, Fernandes of all people. Yeah, look, lads, I do think United are probably still going to have too much for Wolves in this game. This is at 5:30 on Monday, by the way. Is that correct? Is that 5:30?
Oh yeah,
5:30, isn't it? 8:30 on Monday.
Yeah, no,
but it's a bank holiday. It's a bank holiday.
Yeah. I was right.
Apologies.
Yeah, I do see them having too much. I'm gonna say a tight game though. I'm gonna say a 2-1 win for United. And I'm gonna go with Cavani to score. For some reason, I have a feeling that he's going to probably come on as a sub and score.
He's still fit.
He should be, shouldn't he?
Well, he's been very in and out this season.
Yeah. Yeah. So look, I'm going to go United win. I don't think there's going to be too much kind of to worry about for them there in that game, but I don't think it'll be that easy either at the same time. So lads, that concludes everything we have for today. Oh, just one other thing that I just want to jump into real quick. It's the
hold on till I get the whiskey. Fuck, the Guinness is not strong enough for this shit.
No, I'm only joking. We're not doing it, Paddy. I wouldn't do that to you.
Yes, you would.
Funny. Yeah, I know. Lads, we're gonna call it a day on that one. We're hoping kind of to get a couple of guests on in the next couple of weeks, I suppose. Again, it's hard around Christmas, so trying to get a hold of people and stuff like that. So, yeah, there is kind of a few people we have hopefully lined up to come on. We had a great chat last week with Andy McNulty, just all about his career. I really enjoyed that chat. I have to admit, Paddy, he was very good, wasn't he? It's a story. Like, everyone has a story. Like, not everybody knows like everybody's story, but that one was brilliant, I thought.
Almost a year doing this pod, Collie, and I have to say that since we've started now, we've 3 guests on so far. This interview and guest thing is a real plus for the show. It really is. It's really good, really, really interesting. And I think the viewers could get a lot from it. I have to say, a lot of interesting topics coming up. Yeah, really good.
And it's not even like, look, they're not world beaters. Do you know what I mean? They're people that have had very good careers in what they've done, and they've done really well. But it's not one that they're not millionaires. Do you know what I mean? They're still kind of down to earth people. They're very relatable people. So yeah, I think that's the type of people we're going to be going for, because, like I said, everybody has their own story, and to hear
Until we can
people
get
that
the
are,
millionaires, and then it'd be like, fuck them, fuck those.
yeah, and then we're like,
Yeah.
oh, I can't believe we used to get them people
Yeah.
on. No, but
Peasants.
we do have a couple of people lined up, like, and to be honest with you, I'm gonna start trying to get some League of Ireland players on. Current League of Ireland players, I think that people would like to hear from. So I think, look, I'm not going to throw any names out at the moment, but I do think that we will have a couple of decent guests coming on in the next month or two, anyway, and a couple of other events or whatever you want to call them coming up as well. With hopefully a few extra videos on YouTube and stuff like that with a little bit of content. Right now we've kind of I took your drone with a camera on it there today just to up the production quality of what we're doing at the moment. So if we can get that sorted and I can get myself a good one of them, yeah, look, I think we're going in the right direction. If you are watching this or listening to this on Spotify or anything like that, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you go on to Facebook as well. Follow us on Facebook, Beyond the Ball. You will find us there. Where else are we? We're on Instagram,
Twitter.
obviously. Twitter. We're on Twitter. We're live on Twitter at the moment as well. We're on Twitch. Don't really use that. And we're on TikTok as well. So get on and follow us there. So yeah, look, we're gonna end at that, lads. We won't dwell on it too much longer. So War, nice to see you again, and thank you for your appearance this week.
Thanks, lads. Always good to be here.
And Paddy, we'll talk to you next week. Yeah.
Yeah. Cheers, man. Thank you.
Everyone, thanks for watching.
Everyone. Happy New
Yeah,
Year.
happy New Year, Happy New Year, all that. Good tidings to you and your king. We will be back the same time next week, 8:30 on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. So we will talk to everybody then.